So hi and welcome everybody, welcome back. In this part we will talk about the pros and cons of Ethernet. So the objectives are to know the advantages of Ethernet, know the disadvantages of Ethernet, the cons, and then know various categories of Ethernet cables. So what are the advantages, the pros? First, Ethernet is the most widely used wired LAN technology. Ethernet is relatively inexpensive, it's very cheap and compared to other technologies. In Ethernet, all the nodes have the same privileges. It doesn't follow client-server architecture. Fourth, maintenance and administration are simple. The cable used to connect systems in Ethernet is robust to noise. As it's robust to the noise, the quality of the data transfer doesn't degrade. The data transfer quality is really very good compared to wireless transmission. With latest versions such as gigabit Ethernet, the transfer speeds is nowadays in gigabit per second, and this is very achievable. Therefore, we can say that these 7 points are the main seven the main 7 advantages or merits or pros of Ethernet. In addition to that, you can add security because your data is guided within a cable. It's not being transmitted wirelessly in all the direction and open in the air. So it's very difficult for an eavesdropper or an attacker to capture the signal and analyze it. Now, having explained the advantages or the merits of Ethernet, what are the disadvantages now? What are the cons of Ethernet? We can summarize them in 5 points. First one is under heavy loads. Ethernet always under heavy loads. Too much of the network's capacity is wasted by collisions because of the access protocol used in Ethernet, which is a carrier sense multiple access collision detection. Second, it doesn't hold good for real-time applications and interactive applications like gaming or augmented reality, virtual reality types of application, which really require very low latency. As the network cannot set priority for the packets, it's not suitable for a client-server architecture. For interactive application, dummy data have to be fed to make the frame size 46 byte, which is mandatory. And finally, the fifth point is after receiving a packet, the receiver doesn't send any acknowledgement, which is really bad because the transmitter in this case will not have any idea whether his frame was received successfully or not. Now, regarding the Ethernet categories, we have 8 categories. We have the most common ones are listed below: Cat3, Cat5, Cat5e, Cat6, Cat6a, Cat7, Cat8. In Cat3, the shielding is unshielded. There is no protection from external noise and external environment, so we call it unshielded. Of course, if it is unshielded, it's gonna be less expensive than the shielded ones, and the maximum transmission speed of this category is 10 megabit per second. Cat5 is also unshielded and has a transmission speed of up to 100 megabit per second. Cat5e is also unshielded and has a transmission speed up to 1 gigabit per second. Cat6 has 2 types, shielded or unshielded, and the data rate can go up to 1 gigabit per second. Cat6a is shielded and has a transmission rate or speed up to 10 gigabit per second. Cat7 is shielded and has a transmission speed of about 10 gigabit per second, and Cat8 is also shielded and has a transmission rate of up to 40 gigabit per second, which is commonly used in connecting routers with each other in the backbone network.